Hey everyone, welcome to Hello Church, episode 62. I'm Justin Trapp.
I'm Wade Bearden, and you might be thinking about investing in a commentary set. And if so, we're going to offer you our 5 favorite commentary sets. Now, there are so many good commentary sets out there, it's hard to narrow them down. Here are just 5 picks that I really do love, and hopefully that'll give you a little bit of guidance as you seek out which commentary set you're going to invest in over the next few years.
So the first one that we're going to recommend is, it's not always super easy for the readers, but it is super rich from a content standpoint, and that's the Word Biblical Commentary.
Yeah, so one important factor as it relates to choosing a Bible commentary is finding something that's going to push you and that's not just devotional. There are a lot of I guess you could say very shallow commentaries that are really good for general readers. But as a pastor, if you're really looking to dig deep in the text, you got to get a little technical sometimes. So we're going to talk about a lot of different types of commentaries and the styles over the course of this podcast. But with the Word Biblical Commentary, you have a commentary set that will stretch you a bit, but will give you information I can guarantee you do not already know. This is a commentary set that gets into the technical aspects of the text while also being pretty readable. So I don't have a problem with this, but it does challenge me at times. This is certainly not the most technical commentary set you could get, but it's one that I think you'll be able to dig into, and it would really be beneficial to your ministry. So that's the Word Biblical Commentary set. And if you're looking at good books of the Bible, there are some within that set that are better than others. The commentary set on the book of Genesis is fantastic for the Word Biblical Commentary. It's split into 2. So if you're preaching through Genesis, this is definitely a volume you need to get.
The second one is the Tyndale Old Testament and New Testament commentary set.
Yeah, so this one's from InterVarsity Press, and the ones that we're talking about here come from a more conservative or evangelical perspective. So that's our lane, and so you definitely want to read outside of that because you want to push yourself and you want to grow. Yeah. But for us, this is kind of the central focus. So you've got the Tyndale commentaries, you have the Old Testament, you have the New Testament. They've actually, I think, just rebranded it, and you can get the whole set together. And this is a really nice commentary set. I would say you probably don't want to use this set on its own, because if we're looking at the scale of very scholarly and very devotional, the Word Biblical Commentary set is not like all the way scholarly. It's probably closer to the center, but it's still kind of closer to that scholarly. If you look at the devotional with the Tyndale, it's almost, I would say, either probably right in the middle. So it's a good commentary set, very readable, very easy to understand, very concise. I usually add that on top of what I already use, but it's a fantastic set, and it's an affordable set too. And what I would also tell people is, with each of these sets we're going to talk about here today, each volume has a different author, which is really nice because you get a lot of different perspectives. And these go through a rigorous editing process. So it's not just a random person who sat down and did a commentary on the whole Bible and got it published. These are scholars really working hard, but Tyndale is, I think, a pretty good set.
Yeah, and one of the things, too, when you're looking for a good commentary set, I would read the good and the bad reviews on the set. Do some digging, do some research before purchasing one. Another one that we recommend, too, is the Expositor's commentary set.
Yeah, so the Expositor's Bible commentary set, this is the first set that I owned, and I think this should be the first set that most people own. So if you know somebody graduating from Bible college, they're about to go into the ministry, I would encourage you to just buy this entire set for them. And each volume is usually a couple different books. And it's really just this foundational, fantastic commentary that I personally think every evangelical needs to have this in their library. I mean, it's really great. It works through verse by verse. It gives you the content that you need. It's not incredibly devotional, but it's not super technical to where you can't understand what they're talking about unless you have a PhD. I love the Expositor's Commentary set. And if you're listening to this and maybe you're not a pastor, but you want to give a gift to your pastor, you should really get everybody to come together and purchase this. This is a really good one. So that's the Expositor's Bible Commentary.
The other one we have is the NIV Application Commentary set.
Yeah. So when it comes to commentaries, most of them are just trying to help you understand what the text says. And so when it comes to interpreting the text and really just digging deep into the author's original intentions, you could buy all 5 commentary sets, or you can buy, if you're preaching through a book of the Bible, you can buy 5 different books from each of these sets that just cover that one book. So you could do that, and you could look at it, and it will give you what you need to know to understand that text. Not that they all agree, even the conservative evangelical sets. But from there, as a pastor, right, you can't stop there. You have to help the readers understand how this applies to our world and how the biblical principles apply to their life. The NIV Application Commentary set takes a chunk of the set, or a chunk of verses, and it talks about the original context. Then it has a section where it bridges the context, so it's bridging the original setting with our world, and then it has the immediate application to our world section. So you're reading, what does it mean to them? How does this relate to truths across time? And then how does it really relate to our specific world today? And I love it because you'll read through this and the author will say, we wrestle with this issue as it relates to how we take care of the elderly. And you could literally just sit down and say, oh, these are really good points to help people apply that. I love this commentary set so much. It's kind of expensive because each book, if I understand correctly, except for maybe some of the smaller epistles, but each one is basically its own book. So you're not getting, 3 books together in one volume. So you've got to buy them individually, but it's so good. And so what I'll tell people is, if you're preaching through a book of the Bible, get just that volume for the NIV Application Commentary and just keep it. And over time, you're just going to accumulate them, maybe buy one a month or one every couple of months. It's a great set. I love it. And I've got a handful already and I want to buy some more.
I love the idea, like if you're going to go through the book of Luke as a sermon series, or you're doing a deep dive into the study of the book of Luke, getting multiple different commentaries. Excuse me. So you're gaining multiple perspectives, and they're also overlapping, of course, too. But it just enriches your study and for yourself, but also your congregation as well. They will be the beneficiaries of that.
I'll say this too. It's interesting because my local library system has, I think, almost every single book in the NIV Application Commentary. And so if you're interested in just exploring it, or maybe you're just like, oh, I'm preaching a sermon and I'm just 1 week in the book of John, just this passage, and then I'm going to jump to another book for the next week. You could get this and just kind of use it. Obviously, you can't mark it up, but it'll give you an idea of what this set is and help you out. So I would check out your local library for some of these.
The last one on our list is the New American Commentary set.
Mm-hmm. So this is another one of those like foundational sets, and so you'll hear people say, "Oh man, I love the NAC. I love the NAC." So if you ever hear somebody talking about the NAC, this is what they're talking about. This is the description is this basic to mid-level exegetical commentary. So this is a great sweet spot of digging into the issues within the text, but not getting overly technical. And once again, you can buy a volume for each book of the Bible. But this is one of those other sets that I would say, hey, if you're thinking about giving a college student or a new pastor a set, this is another one of those. And it's funny because I got spoiled at Bible college. They had all of these sets and more. And so whenever I was around my university and I was working on a message, I could just pull each one of these sets down and I could just go through it. And it was wonderful. But yeah, the NAC is a fantastic resource. And like I said before, you want to look at some of these commentary sets that maybe don't agree with your beliefs, and that will help you address those issues. So instead of just acting like these other perspectives don't exist, you learn from them and you're able to answer those questions as you're preaching. So we've given you what I think are 5 just really fantastic commentary sets, and from there you can kind of choose which one you want. But I mean, I would say for a lot of these, if you can put it in your budget for your church, just like buy like one a month or one every few months, just like find a way to add to it. And there's actually a thread on the Pastor Circle. If you're not a part of the Pastor Circle, it's our Facebook group where pastors can help just resource each other. And someone had mentioned that they were going to get a bunch of digital sets and they didn't want to haul around all their physical commentaries anymore. And I don't remember if it was Josh Taylor who works with us or somebody else, but they were like, hey, you should put it in your church library and let people check these out, and they can read commentaries as they go through books of the Bible. So this is something that you could put in a library for your people too, so it could help you in your ministry, but also your church.
We also have a digital commentary set on Sermonaries. So Sermonaries are a cloud-based sermon writing platform. We partner with Dr. Thomas Constable of Dallas Theological Seminary, and we have every book of the Bible on the Sermonary platform. You can go and purchase those as you need them. So I'd like to recommend those as our bonus commentary set as well.
If I'm preaching, I'm always looking at the expository commentary set, the NIV Application Commentary set, Thomas Constable. Those are the 3 that I use pretty much for sure, and then I supplement with some others. But you should definitely check those out, and they'll be super helpful. If you use a particular commentary set that you love that we did not mention, make sure to tweet us. You can use the hashtag HelloChurchPod. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also comment below and let us know, because pastors are always looking for good commentary sets, and we want to help guide people along. I think commentaries are wonderful. I think more pastors need to use them. I think some people just don't really know where to begin. Hopefully this is a help for you.
Hey, that's it for Hello Church today. Our next episode is going to be how to disciple leaders in your church. We look forward to talking about that with you guys. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.